What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Intoxicated Sports Report. With me, as always, Gates Emoji, and he's rocking the new shirt today.
Oh, this thing?
Yes,
This?
that thing.
The new?
The new.
You kidding me?
I love it. Looks beautiful.
I gotta say, I talk shit about these shirts. It's not the style that I like in particular.
You can't say it's
But
not comfy.
It's comfy. It's comfy.
Soft as hell.
And the cutoff on the short sleeve, it's perfect.
Right where you like
It's
it?
right where I like it.
Perfect. Love to hear that. Have you watched it yet?
It's the first war.
First time you
First
wear?
First wear. First war. First wear.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those people who wash my shirts first before I wear them.
I don't like to do that either. I think it's
There's
pointless.
something about the crispness of a new shirt.
Yeah, unwashed shirt.
Some people do that. I'm not talking shit.
Yeah.
But
I like fresh threads.
Fresh
threads.
fresh threads.
Yes.
It's a great way to put it.
Yeah. I'm Emerson Hitt, by the way. I don't think I got that point, but here we are.
They probably know that by now,
Yeah.
but any new listeners, yes, he's
Yeah.
Emerson. I'm Gage.
I'm really loving this new
Yes?
blaze you got right here.
Yes, thank
Looking
you.
crispy.
Appreciate it.
Giants are looking good, although they got kind of work this weekend, which we're going to talk about at some point today.
Happens. You can't win them all.
Can't win them all.
But yes, came up on this hat at work. Someone donated a nice dresser. I was looking through the drawers and I see this Giants hat. And I'm like, man, this thing's pretty nice. And I was kind of thinking to myself, maybe this guy forgot about it.
Right.
There was this hat, and the hat said NASA on it. And as the guy's leaving, because I caught him before he left the parking lot, I'll go out there. I had the hats in my hand. I'm like, did you want these?
Mm.
He's like, no, I don't want them. And I was like, cool, it's mine now.
Hell yeah.
Nice little 2-butt come up at CP. Appreciate it.
Hopefully he doesn't have lice.
That's the case. I'm shaving my head. I am no stranger to shaved heads, as you know. As you know.
I love that it was an accident, too.
That was bad. That was not good. I do not want to go back to that, ever.
I don't blame you for not wanting to do that. Oh, man. What are we drinking today, sir?
These old fashions?
Yeah. No, these are whiskey sours.
Whiskey sours. I want to ask you because I forgot what they were. They're whiskey sours.
Whiskey sour, yep.
They're really good. Cheers. I like how you can't see the ice cube in it 'cause it's so hazy.
Mm-hmm. And the ice cube's relatively clear.
It looks like I'm drinking a beer
It does kind of look like a beer.
with a
Looks like a line and Kugels.
lime and kugels. Yeah. Those, like the summer
The
shandies.
summer shandies, yeah.
I think of one person when I think of those.
Nicholas James Warren.
Nicholas James Warren. He drank those off the chain.
Yeah.
Just like how we drink those. Drink those, Blue Moons, and Shock Tops.
Yeah.
Everybody has a
bad face.
everyone growing up or late teens has a Blue Moon Shock Top phase.
Bad beer face, yep.
There's worse beers.
There's
but,
worse beer, yeah, you're right.
Like if someone's like, "Hey, do you want a Blue Moon?" I'm like, "No, I'll take a water." I don't want a Blue Moon.
You know what? I know a shandy is not far off from a cider, but I've never gotten to the cider phase, really.
I dig ciders. The Golden State cider is good.
Those are better than like Angry Orchards are kind of sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, how you been?
Been good. Good. Had a good day yesterday. Went to field work with Devin and her family. It was nice. Had a nice double IPA.
Nice.
Called Nug Champa instead of Nag Champa.
Love it.
Tasted good because me and field work kind of a love-hate relationship
I'm with you.
with their drinks.
I miss Brett working there.
I do too.
He always point me in the right direction, at least.
I was thinking about that yesterday because they have a new location now, like right behind the Oxbow instead of in the Oxbow. I'm thinking to myself, man, Brett was like working here, but in the Oxbow, and
Right.
everything's just way different now.
I know. It's not the same vibe. Yeah.
Now Brett's a Rockies fan. He
Shut up.
lives in Denver. I don't even know the guy anymore, you know?
For Rockies.
Just kidding, Brett. Love you. Hope you're listening. Hope Denver's great. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
What we got going on today?
Oh boy, so we're gonna talk a little bit about baseball.
First of all, baseball. Who do we have right here?
We got Jason Schmidt.
Jason Schmidt. Okay.
He's from back in the early 2000s of the Giants.
For our podcast audience, I'm
Yeah.
referring to the baseball card Emerson has in front of us. For
Yeah.
our YouTube audience.
It's kind of like a plaque with a card inside of it.
When I first saw that from the side, I thought it was your front of the house host of the month
No, sir.
Marriott
But
plaque
that
that you
would
got.
be funny. That would be really funny. It was like the 3-year anniversary of that recently, by the way.
Was it March 2019?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
You're telling me you haven't got another one since then? Something's fishy at Marriott. I'm calling in.
I think it's you get it once and you can't get it ever again.
That's fair. At least you got it once.
You're right.
At least you got it once.
I think we were all employees of the month during the pandemic, so.
That's true. So like Emerson was saying, we have baseball, NFL, the draft just happened.
Yep.
NHL, the Stanley Cup playoffs
Start.
begin today.
Yeah, they're on right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Throw it on real quick. Who's playing? Who's playing?
We got, I think, Tampa Bay, who is, of course, one of the favorites, as always. No,
Who-
just kidding. Boston and Carolina.
But Tampa's going for the three-peat.
Go for the three-peat, which
Which-
has not happened in, I'm just going to say a long time. I don't know when the last time was. Probably since, like,
The Canadians?
maybe the Canadians or maybe even the
Gretzky?
Oilers back in those days. Maybe. I don't know.
And like we were just watching before this, NBA playoffs going on right now.
Right?
Second round's underway. We do have our picks for each playoff series, which I wrote down.
Right.
Before
We did those off the air.
off the air,
Yeah.
because if we did it today, we would
Be a little bit.
be a little
Little late,
skewed.
yeah.
So we got those down. And then last call.
Yes, sir.
Last call NASCAR at Dover. We had to mention it
You
because
can't skip Dover.
you can't skip Dover. You cannot skip Dover.
Ooh,
As-
Carolina just scored. Look at this. First goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
And as everybody knows, I think
Or maybe not. We'll see.
Emerson lives at Dover.
On Dover Street. Yes, sir.
I'm not going to give you the exact coordinates because we don't want anybody just flying by here.
Correct.
Were you telling me that there was an accident on this road somewhere?
Yeah.
Did you see anything? of it?
No, I think I was at work when it happened.
No cops. You didn't see any fire trucks.
Yeah, but
no
apparently, like
ambulance?
a guy was like out of his mind and like crashed into a car or something like that and tried to flee and
Well,
cops got him.
I hope nobody got hurt. Hope everybody's
Yeah, I don't
fine.
think there was any injuries, thankfully. But yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
Shall we get into it?
Yes, and speaking of bad news, man, Trevor Bauer, he gets suspended for 324 games, which is the equivalent of two seasons.
Right. It's a really funny number to say.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
In reality, it's really a 3-year suspension because it's it's effective like as of when it happened, like a couple days ago, and he's already missed the last like pretty much full season from being on administrative leave.
Man,
So
this guy.
I really feel like Rob Manfred has it out for him, and he's trying to blacklist him a little bit, which I don't disagree with. I mean, he's under investigation for some serious, domestic assault and whatnot. So, or
But
sexual assault.
didn't in the court of law didn't he get?
He's
off
still
on this?
he's not completely free of anything yet. I think he's gonna appeal, and he probably will win or get this reduced to some degree. But as of right now, he has not been convicted of anything or anything like that.
Can't imagine he's happy. I wouldn't either. But he also is kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a tool for sure.
He Hall of Fame trajectory, I would think, for
He was off to. I mean, had an interesting beginning to his career, but was at the level of an ace when this went down. So, yeah,
it's just I don't know. The whole thing's weird.
It is weird.
I don't know enough to really get into it, so I'm not going to try.
Same,
I'm not going
same.
to try to talk about it and say who's right, who's wrong. It's just it's a huge suspension. The game, when you put the games in perspective, it's a lot to say out loud. 324 games.
right.
He's not going to be playing for the next 2 years.
It almost makes me wonder if he wasn't a starting pitcher, if they would have given him less games.
Or if he wasn't a high-profile player.
I don't even know if it's that. I think because like a position player obviously plays pretty much every game, right? But a pitcher only starting pitcher only pitches 30 to 35 times in a season.
Oh,
So I'm kind of thinking that maybe that's why.
actually a good point because he wouldn't play 324 games.
Correct.
Obviously.
Right.
I mean,
mean,
like a position
yeah.
player could.
I don't know if that's actually being factored in, but I just kind of that came to mind.
So you would say he's missing probably 60 to 70 games.
Probably 65 games, give or take.
that
yeah.
he would start.
Right.
I didn't think about it like that. It's a good point.
Yeah. But still, it's 2 seasons, so it's still a long time no matter what.
And I'm not sure. Are you gonna get more into this on Fourth Out and whenever you do your next episode?
I don't think so. I don't really care to talk about stuff like that on Fourth Out. But yeah, it's still pretty wild suspension nonetheless. I would expect this to be reduced.
He's gonna appeal it.
Yeah, he plans to appeal, and he expects it to be reduced as well. So, see what happens. Also, we have the first no-hitter of the season.
I did not even know about this.
Yeah, Mets threw a combined no-hitter, 4 pitchers, combined for 159 pitches, which is the most in a no-hitter ever
That's a lot.
against the Phillies. Just
How many
this past weekend?
How many did Timmy throw against the Padres? That second one I think was the second one he had.
It was like 148. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, by himself.
By himself, yeah. Ridiculous.
Like noodle arm after that.
Probably. I think both times he threw a no-hitter against them, he had a terrible start the next go-around. So,
But when you're going for a no hitter, it doesn't happen all the time.
right.
So kudos to the Mets.
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. They did walk 6 batters in the game, but hey, no-hitter's no-hitter.
And they still won. I'm assuming.
They won 3-0.
There we go.
Also, our Giants, they got worked this weekend by the Nationals. They did win one of the games out of 3, but the Nationals, 45 hits in 3 games. That's pretty ridiculous. Game 1, I think they had 22, which is insane to think.
And this is a team that the Giants whooped in D.C. like a week and a half ago.
Swept them in D.C. And not only that, I mean, the Nationals are just not a good team at all.
Is this a little poetic justice for the Nationals, given the Giants were running up the score against them for a couple of those games?
I mean,
I don't have a problem with
yeah.
it. You know, stop us.
Right.
Stop
Exactly.
us.
I mean, think a good example is yesterday's game where the Nationals were up like 8 or 7 to nothing or something, and then the Giants made it an 8-5 game at one point. So the game, you could say, okay, the Nationals had a big lead, and the Giants made it close
I agree.
before the
I
Nationals put it out of reach. So
But I'm sure the Nationals were like, fuck yeah, fuck the Giants.
stomp on them. Why not?
But the Giants are gonna have the last laugh because they're gonna be in the playoff race, and I don't think the Nationals are.
Not a chance. I don't think. So,
No.
Giants do play the Dodgers this week. 2-game series in LA.
I don't like it.
Who cares? It's fun. I love
Oh,
Giants.
it's great.
Giants and Dodgers are so much fun. It is sad that starting next season we're going to get less games against the Dodgers every year.
Because they're gonna play every team.
Correct. I would imagine it's probably going to be more like 10 games a year instead of 19.
That just means when we go to a Dodger-Giants game, it means more.
Right. And they're going to cost more.
I was gonna say the ticket prices are gonna be just a little more
That's a
expensive.
little bit more. But
So go
yeah.
Giants, baby!
Yes, sir.
Rocking the hat today. Also, don't let me forget, Emerson. This looks too close, like a Warriors shirt. Not happy about it. We will get to basketball in a minute, but I am not happy about this. What color is this supposed to be? It kind of.
It's called.
How did you get this past me? Did I say yes on these colors?
Yeah, you did. Because I almost put gold on it, and then you're like, and then I went to like a silver, and the silver didn't look good on it. And then I can't remember what the name of that color is, but it's not yellow, gold, or.
Is it like a bone?
It does look like a bone. I can't remember. It's got a name for it.
I mean, it's not yellow like this. Okay,
No.
I'll give you that.
No.
I'm kind of just giving you shit,
Yeah.
but it's what I do.
Good on you.
It's what I'm best at.
Mm-hmm.
So the NFL draft started on Thursday,
Correct.
and Trayvon Walker went number 1 to the Jaguars.
Which was expected.
Yeah, that's
for
what we
the
were
most part.
talking about.
Mhm.
Aiden Hutchinson went 2 to Detroit.
Made sense.
Made sense. Hey, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Played for Michigan.
Right, staying home.
Staying home.
Which is similar to another guy we're going to talk about
Yes.
in a little bit.
Lions also selected wide receiver Jameson Williams at number 12, which is interesting because he's not expected to play until later on in the
Yeah,
season.
he was Alabama receiver who tore his ACL in the championship game.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Great player though.
Yeah.
High expectations for him, but yeah.
I'm okay with this. I mean, it's ballsy, but
Right.
I'm okay with it.
I think it's interesting too because I mean he would have been the number 1 receiver had he not been hurt.
Mhm.
But a lot of talk was that he might fall to some of those better teams down later in the first round. But they took him at number 12, so they obviously are very high on him. So
Good for him. Good for the Lions.
Yep.
I hope the Lions can be good sometime.
I know.
I don't even care if it's in my lifetime, but just ever in time.
Right. I think it's interesting that they're going to have now a top prospect in Aiden Hutchinson, and you add Jameson Williams, maybe give Jared Goff a chance to do something because he had some success in a good system in LA.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens here. Could be his last chance to really be a successful starter.
In my opinion, the best thing that happened this weekend in the draft was Kenny Pickett, the quarterback for Pitt,
Yep.
gets drafted by the Steelers, who, as people know, are in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Who doesn't like this kind of story?
It's a perfect fit.
I don't even care if Kenny Pickett is not good as a pro, but this has got to be a great moment for him.
Right. It does feel like an overdraft. He wasn't talked about as like a super highly touted quarterback prospect, but nonetheless, they are looking for a quarterback. So
Yeah, I don't care how small this guy's hands are. Give him a chance. Who cares? And he was the first quarterback picked
right.
at 20th overall.
Yeah.
Because some people thought, we'll get to Malik Willis, that he might get picked,
Right.
and Desmond Ritter got picked.
Yeah. Desmond Ritter was the second quarterback taken, but that was not until the third round. 74th by Atlanta. You have a funny little note about this.
And people have probably seen this on, Sports Center's Instagram or Bleacher Report's Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Desmond Ritter, Cincinnati quarterback, right?
Yep.
He said, "I'm not leaving until I get a Super Bowl." And my question, why do you say this?
Yeah.
Why do you say this? Second of all, this isn't even in your power. Unless you're a good quarterback, then maybe.
Yeah.
But it isn't up to you. You don't run. You don't run the Falcons.
The chances of him being their starter are not a guarantee by any means.
No.
Like they could find out that he's just terrible and it was a waste of a draft pick. I mean, it was a third rounder. It's not like it's a first rounder.
This reminds me of Leighton Vander Esch when he got selected by the Cowboys, 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He said the same thing. He's like, I'm bringing a Super Bowl to you guys.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
Last time I checked, he didn't. Not yet. Last time I checked,
Yeah.
he's getting hurt. He's Sean Lee 2.0. Hate to break it to you. I love the confidence, I really do, but I don't like this. Just say the things you need to say. Don't say I'm not leaving until I go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't be stupid.
You're putting yourself in a hole already.
And it's just like a stupid target that you're putting on your team. As well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just a little too much. A little too much.
Speaking of Malik Willis, the potential first rounder fell all the way to 86th, which was in the 3rd round, selected by Tennessee.
I like this pick by Tennessee.
I mean, who knows what Ryan Tannehill is going to continue to be. Obviously, Titans were a really good team last year, but yeah, I think Willis has a lot of potential. So we'll see how it works out.
A bold prediction.
Yeah? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Malik Willis will take over for Tannehill sometime this next season.
This season, wow. Okay. We can get you a shot here in a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe later in the show.
Is that a good enough bold prediction?
I like it. No,
Is that
yeah,
good?
yeah.
It's been a while since we've done a bold prediction, so I
Yeah.
really need and think we need to do one.
Right. That's a pretty aggressive one. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
The Heat, by the way, are off to a really good start, up 20-11.
So something else that happened on Thursday, which for me was a complete nightmare. Complete nightmare was that the Titans traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles for the 18th pick. This, to me, I was like, why? Terrible. I don't like this. And I'm sure you're not surprised I don't like this.
Yeah.
And also, the idea of him and Devontae Smith,
It's a pretty good duo.
you know, Devontae still has a lot to prove, but he's still a good player, I would say.
Yeah, he's developing, but he had a good year last year, I think.
In my notes, I put, Eagles acquire A.J. Brown. I put yikes. And then I put A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith duo. Bigger yikes. Not crazy about it. The only thing that makes me feel okay about this is that they still have Jalen
Hurts.
Hurts. I almost said Smith. Jalen Hurts throwing to him.
Yeah, I mean.
And he's not great. And how about that tweet that I sent you from, I think, the NFL?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember I sent it to you? I think, and it said, what are the Eagles' chances of winning?
Oh, right.
Winning the NFC?
Yeah, no.
The conference?
Just because you get a receiver, that's not going to change your life.
No, if you
don't have the quarterback
the
to
most
do
important position is
quarterback.
thank you. And Jalen Hurts, is he the best quarterback even in that division?
No.
And the division's shit. We all know it. It's not good. But Dak Prescott, I think, is by
I'd
far.
still give that to Dak.
We'll
pretty easily.
We'll see what Wentz could do. He still needs, whatever.
Nah, I'm out on Wentz right now.
Okay.
So, he's got to prove something to me.
Will I pick them to win the NFC East? I might this year. I'm gonna say maybe not because of that, but I just think the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That division's so weird.
I kind of forgot the Eagles made the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
They were an interesting team.
I think they can win the NFC East, the Eagles. I don't think they can win the NFC.
I mean, I'm not taking a team led by Jalen Hurts over a team led by Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or Matthew Stafford.
I'd even say Jimmy Garoppolo.
Or Jimmy Garoppolo.
Sounds crazy.
I mean, if the Niners are, well put together.
So it was just a little.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. That's a little ridiculous.
So
Titans did try to replace A.J. Brown with wide receiver Traylon Burks from Arkansas with that pick that they got.
Cry Eagles cry. Cry Eagles cry.
That's right.
The Ravens traded Hollywood Brown, or Marquise Brown. I honestly didn't even know his first name was Marquise, which is Hollywood to me.
Yeah.
To the Cardinals for the 23rd pick. I'm interested to know what you think about this, being the NFC West guy. That you
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously you don't like to see this, but like I said, I mean, you got to have good players on the edge, but they already have DeAndre Hopkins, and we're going to talk about his suspension here in a second. But yeah, I mean, he's a good player. He's not like a world beater.
Mm-hmm.
He's fast. Obviously, he's one of the fastest players in the league.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually a really nice combination because Kyler Murray is one of the best downfield passers we got in the league.
And they played together at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've heard, they're really buddy. Like,
Yeah.
They both like each other a lot, like really good friends and all that.
Apparently, Marquise Brown had requested a trade from the Ravens a while back, and knew that he was going to be on the Cardinals, but kept it from Kyler.
And Lamar Jackson was kind of going off on Twitter about it.
He's not happy.
He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Who would you rather have as your quarterback, Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson?
Man, that's really tough, actually. I think Kyler's a better.
I'm
thrower of the
going
football.
with Kyler because he can throw the football.
Right. I still love Lamar, but I think think I'd probably take Kyler.
I'd take Kyler, too.
But Kyler, I don't know. I take that back. I'm going Lamar.
All right. And me being the conspiracy theorist that I can be at times, I think they acquired Marquise Brown because they might have known that DeAndre Hopkins got suspended
I think
for
so.
6 games for PED use. What do
I
you
think that is a very valid theory, very realistic theory.
I think they might have. Yeah, we know this is coming. Let's get somebody else.
Right. I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they didn't even know that he had failed it, but DeAndre told him hey, I did something and I just got P tested and I'm gonna fail it.
And if the NFL is anything like the MLB, DeAndre Hopkins will not get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't know how they've reacted towards the Hall of Fame voters who have reacted towards PED users in the past.
It was more of a joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really understand what he was thinking doing this, or if he thought he can get away with it. You said he's come off an injury, so
Yeah.
he thought he needed it.
Yeah, I think it makes sense that he would try to use them to help his body heal faster, but at the same time, he's such a great player, he shouldn't need it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unless he's been doing it for a long time and just been getting away with it until now. So who knows? We'll see what happens.
So being the NFL fans that we are, we love football.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do a semi-quick draft evaluations for my Cowboys and your 49ers. We'll keep it pretty quick, so we don't want to bore anybody.
Right.
But to me, it's pretty important to talk about, I think.
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, so the Dallas Cowboys with their first pick, the 24th pick. They picked Tyler Smith out of Tulsa. Offensive tackle, which we talked about, which was a need.
Right.
When I first saw this, I was like, cool. They drafted somebody that they needed.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I went on Twitter. And everybody on Twitter is an expert.
Right.
They were hating on this pick big time. I guess they could have got other people. I don't know who in particular they could have gotten that would have fit the Cowboy system better. But apparently this guy's, people think he's 2 or 3 years out to being
a starter,
which isn't ideal.
The Cowboys have starting tackles already.
They do.
Yeah.
Maybe kudos to the Cowboys for thinking ahead instead of when you really need it going for it.
Right.
Maybe let this guy develop.
Right. The only issue there though is that if he isn't ready until his third year to start, then you've wasted 2 of his rookie years where he's not getting paid very much, and then it's okay, now already we have to make this decision on it. But that's just thinking down the line.
This guy, he's 6'5", 320, so he looks the part.
He's a big boy. Yeah.
I also heard that they maybe could put him to guard instead of a tackle.
Yeah, I mean, generally tackles can transition to guard.
Whatever he has to do to help the team and protect the quarterback, I'm cool with. Also, I'm kind of convinced Jerry Jones picked him because his name's close to Tyron Smith.
Stop.
Jerry Jones being the dumbass that he is. Sorry, Jerry.
Is he turned into the new Al Davis?
I've been rooting for this guy for way too long. I can call him a dumbass, okay? I can call him a dumbass. So,
fair.
But welcome to the Cowboys. Also, the Cowboys drafted, including Tyler Smith, 4 players on the offensive side. Offensive tackle, like I just said. Wide receiver, tight end, and another offensive tackle.
Interesting.
I'm okay with the tight ends.
Yeah,
tight end.
You can never have too much offensive line depth.
No.
I guess. They got Dalton Schultz, who was pretty good last year at tight end, and he's looking for an extension, but they have not granted him that yet.
And on the defensive side, they drafted 5 players. So they drafted more defense than offense, which is what I've wanted as a fan.
Yeah.
So they got an outside linebacker, a cornerback, inside linebacker, defensive tackle, and another inside linebacker.
Okay.
So I think
just one defensive back. Is that
one defensive back through the draft. I don't know if they've probably done other things through free agency and all that kind of stuff, or undrafted free agents. And all that. I'm okay with this. I wish they would have gotten more in secondary. I think that was more of a need for the Cowboys. But overall, you can't really hate it. The wide receiver is kind of a question to me, but they did lose Amari.
Right.
So they're going to need something because who knows with Gallup, because he seems to get hurt all the time, and he did.
And he's not. He might not be back for a while next year.
I think he tore his shit in that Niner game.
Right.
So it's going to be CD and
whoever else.
forget who else did they have.
They got that guy. Is it Williams? Is that his last name?
Yeah, definitely like someone named Brown too. I think something like that.
We're
So
going really in depth on the Niners or the Cowboys receiving corps.
nine picks in the draft's not bad, right?
That's a lot. I mean, you only generally have 7, so
Cool.
there are compensation picks that go around, which the Niners have a handful of those. But
I'm not. I don't know anything about draft grades, but if I were to be like, I'd say it's a decent draft.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
fair.
Your 49ers. What did you think?
Yeah. So the first pick they had was not till the 61st pick overall in the second round.
Yes.
They got outside linebacker Drake Jackson out of USC, who is a pass rusher by trade. I don't mind the pick. I mean, you can never have too many pass rushers unless you had 6 already on the team.
Yeah.
But I think they could use a guy like that. They did lose Arden Key, who was kind of a rotational guy, so I think he can fill in that role and take a little bit of pressure off Nick Bosa on that defensive line. And then they also got with their third round picks, they took a running back out of LSU, Tyrion Davis Price.
There you go.
From LSU.
You
Yeah, it's a tough one. And then Danny Gray, wide receiver out of SMU. The big theme I felt like in looking at their the evaluations of these guys was a lot of speed, which in Kyle Shanahan's offense they run a lot of stuff to the edges.
Kind of Al Davis-esque.
Right. Yeah.
Speed.
So I like that. I think that helps. And also, like, with Danny Gray being a speedy receiver, could be a downfield threat. Trey Lance coming in, stronger arm than Jimmy Garoppolo. So I think that fits well. I think a lot of people were a little confused by the drafting of Jackson and Davis Price because we felt like that wasn't necessarily a need. But I feel like after the first round, you got to go by best player available for the most part, right? You can't overthink need necessarily. And obviously defensive back was a big one. They did take 2 later round cornerbacks, didn't get any safeties, which it sounds like they were maybe relying on bringing in Tyrann Mathieu, which he signed with the Saints.
He did.
So that was a little unfortunate, I guess. Maybe they will eventually decide to stick with Jaquasti Tard, but we'll see how that goes. But I think, I mean, it's when you don't have a first round pick, it's hard to have a really definitive judgment of your team's draft. But I'm fine with most of the picks. They drafted a couple offensive linemen. Thank you. They also drafted. They had Mr. Irrelevant. I didn't realize they had the last pick. They drafted quarterback Brock Purdy out of Iowa State.
They're gonna take over the job for you guys.
Fuck the Cyclones.
They had Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah. Which that's cool. I mean,
when is that gonna get canceled? You can't call me relevant.
Well, I'm glad that he and it feels like everyone ever who's been called Mr. Irrelevant has taken it as like
I'm just kidding.
comical. Yeah.
People,
but no, I'm with you. Like,
people are.
I could easily see someone getting offended by it, right?
I think the biggest news though for your team, the Niners, they didn't trade Deebo Samuel like a lot of people thought they might.
Yeah, that is the biggest, I guess, surprise, if you will.
So
I kind of didn't think they were going to, but
apparently the Jets offered the 10th pick and maybe the 36th pick too. I think.
I think they were after multiple picks.
And then, Kyle Shanahan said no, stuck to his guns.
Yep.
Wish they would have traded him, but
I think.
I wonder if Debo's like, bro, I'm not going to the Jets.
Yeah, he's gonna get his money.
He will.
I could see 5 years, 125 mil, something like that, something in the AJ Brown range.
And that'll probably be the last big NFL talk we're gonna have
For a couple months at least.
given something.
Yeah.
Some big news until probably August or September.
Yeah, I mean, we might start ramping up in July if there's some talk going on, but training camp starts.
You know us. Anything that we could, if any kind of NFL talk we can get away with, we will.
Right.
So, on to a sport we don't ever talk about.
Right.
The NHL, which we are turning on now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys remember last week, but we said that we would take, 3 shots? No, 2 shots a shot for Vegas making the playoffs.
Oh, if it did happen? Yeah, and they did not.
And they missed.
Thank God. First time ever in their franchise history.
Fuck the Knights.
Hell yeah, buddy. Can we talk about that little message on the Sharks video board?
Yeah.
So I can't remember exactly what it said, but
It's so perfect that it had to be Did you know about that before I sent it to you or no?
No. So the words, the first letter of each word of this like phrase, sentence, whatever you want to call it, spelt out "fuck the Knights."
But it was a complete sentence
So it was a
still.
complete sentence, yeah.
They made it a complete sentence, but like you said, every first letter of each word spelled out "fuck the Knights."
Dude, perfect.
It's
I love
great.
the pettiness.
Whoever thought of that, give him a raise, bring him up more in the
Yeah,
system or in the
yeah.
the Sharks.
I wonder if it was John Root, our boy from the media guy or whatever.
Oh yeah, that guy was cool.
Uh,
Oh wait. Oh, I had a story real quick.
Yeah.
Just reminded me because didn't you meet a shark? What shark did you meet at work?
Logan Couture.
Cool. Yeah, I met a coach for the Super Bowl 15 winning Oakland Raiders at work. I don't know. It wasn't like the head coach.
Okay,
It wasn't
nice.
John Madden, obviously.
Yeah.
This dude was rocking his Super Bowl ring. I had to look
Oh,
at it.
shit, nice.
It was cool.
You don't remember his name though?
Nah, I didn't get his name. It was a really short conversation. One of my coworkers was like, "Hey," she was like, "We have walkie-talkies at work just because it's kind of a big place and
Right.
we need to be somewhere quick. Just easier to do it that way."
Yeah.
My coworker was like, "Hey, Gage, come to the cash register real quick." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I'm walking out, and she's like, kind of met me halfway, and she's like, "There's a Raiders coach out here with a Super Bowl ring." I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." So I went out there and talked to him for a second, and he's like, "Oh, you Raider fan?" I'm like, no, but it's still pretty cool to see a Super Bowl ring. It's not something you see every day.
That's funny.
And I was able to figure it out because the ring had 2 diamonds in it.
Okay. So was
So-
there a second one?
The second one out of those 3 that they won.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't the head coach. 'Cause I looked it up, and he's like in the Hall of Fame now and stuff. The head coach of I think the first 2 that they won.
Gotcha.
John Madden was the coach of the third
The
one.
third one, right?
So I thought it was really cool.
That is cool.
Something I wanted to mention. Not a great story because I didn't talk to the guy much because I really didn't care. But the dude was rocking his ring,
That's pretty sweet.
and he had a Raiders polo on.
Did he?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, have you ever seen a Super Bowl ring with your own eyes?
I have not.
It was kind of cool. You know, this one was small compared to these
Oh, the
huge
ones they,
ones these
yeah,
guys
it's
get
fucking
now.
units they got now.
So, shout out to the Raiders a little bit, maybe. I'll give the Raiders a shout out. I talk shit about Oakland.
Speaking of Vegas.
I talk shit about Oakland sports / Vegas sports
Yeah.
all the time. So there's one shout out for the Raiders,
Boom.
the rare one.
So yeah. Anyways, let's So our first round NHL matchups. We got Boston, Carolina, which is on the TV right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay, Toronto. All these series in the East, by the way, are going to be incredible because
I'll take your word for it.
yeah, all of them. The Eastern Conference standings were super funky, where it was like all the top 8 teams are really good, and all the bottom 8 teams suck. So big gap there, but I think it's gonna be fun. We got Tampa Bay, Toronto, Pittsburgh versus New York, and then Washington versus Florida. And then over in the West, we got St. Louis versus Minnesota, LA and Edmonton, Nashville and Colorado, and then Dallas is playing Calgary.
Look at the Kings making it back to the playoffs.
Yeah, first time in 4 years.
I can't believe it.
And their captain Dustin Brown is going to be retiring after this season. Good
And-
riddance.
And you found out earlier that we did do preseason picks.
Yes.
I picked Vegas, so
How do you feel about them now?
I mean, I'm okay with it. But I
Right.
feel dumb.
Yeah.
And of course, you picked Florida, and they're still in it.
Yep.
You
Florida had the.
You feeling good about that still?
I do. I think if I had to pick right now, I would probably pick Florida or maybe Colorado. So
I'm picking Calgary.
that's a good pick too. They're good. And I would love to see Florida play Colorado in the finals, but just like baseball, you can't guarantee anything just because you're the best team.
I'm picking Calgary over Tampa to spoil the 3-peat.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think when Tampa Bay won their first cup, I'm trying to remember who they beat. It might have been Calgary.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna get revenge. Perfect.
Right.
Even better. Should I just act all smart and just say that I knew that?
Right.
Oh, I knew that. Of course.
I'm gonna get some confirmation on that right now.
All right. So first intermission of this game. Oh no.
Yeah, it is. I think they're just talking about the other game.
Okay.
I don't think Carolina did not actually score on that play that I thought they did.
Oh, they take it back.
Yeah. Well, I think it actually didn't even go in, but they're all celebrating like it did.
Oh,
Clowns.
of course. So you're gonna stick with your Florida pick? You said.
I'm sticking with
You
Florida.
might as well. why
I mean,
wouldn't
they
you?
had the best record in the league.
Who are they gonna beat?
I'm gonna say they're gonna beat. They're gonna beat Colorado.
Yeah.
I really want to see that matchup. I think that would be ideal.
Colorado. Shout out to the Pacific Division. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Confirmation. Tampa Bay did beat Calgary in the 2004.
So Calgary's
finals.
getting their revenge. They're getting the
in
revenge.
7 games, no less, too.
Colorado, shout out to Brett. Big
Avs guy.
Big Avs. Big Avalanche fan.
All right. Speaking of playoffs, let's move on to the NBA playoffs. The second round began yesterday.
But before we get to that, I want to give you your kudos because you nailed the Heat in 5 pick, you nailed the Bucks in 5 pick, and you nailed the Grizz in 6 pick. So you got 3 on. You got 1 on me because I got the Suns in 6, and I got the Grizz in 6 as well.
Okay. Well, you gave the Pelicans 2 games and you nailed it. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Pelicans did play a lot better after, because remember they got off that pitiful start.
Mm-hmm.
They were like 3-15 or something ridiculous like that.
And so our picks for the second round, you picked the Bucks in 7.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Celtics in 6 or 7. Excuse me, Celtics in 7. Heat in 6 you picked, and right before we started, I scratched mine out because I said Heat in 6, but I want to be different.
Okay.
I picked Heat in 7.
In 7. Okay.
We both picked Suns in 6. You picked Warriors in 6. I picked Warriors in 5.
Where's
And
the 5?
And
Wow,
I
you're
feel
feeling frisky,
I feel
huh?
really good about that right now because they won yesterday, which we're gonna get to, and they're gonna win tomorrow. They're gonna win tomorrow.
All right, we'll see. I don't think that's a guarantee. I think, well, yeah, like you said, we're going to get to it. Let's talk about the Bucks and Celtics first, though. Bucks beat the Celtics pretty handily, 101-89 yesterday. Giannis had a nice triple-double.
Made it look easy.
Even still without Chris Middleton, I think the Celtics got to be nervous right now, man.
Yeah.
Losing game 1 at home, and
Drew Holiday had 20.
Drew Holiday's playing well. The Bucks are, I mean, Giannis is, and I feel bad for not giving him his due. I mean, he has improved. Sure.
We talked mad shit about this man not too long ago.
And I think he deserved it, but I think I mentioned last week how Jason Tatum said on Draymond's podcast, like, no one's gonna believe in you until you do something, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the same situation with Giannis.
I swear once he started hitting free throws in the finals last year is
It
when
was-
everything changed for him.
Everything completely changed.
Because they were down 0-2 in that series last year.
Yep.
And they started hitting his free throws, and all of a sudden, this guy is the best player
Yeah.
in the league.
And
Arguably.
Yeah, and now he can hit a fadeaway jump shot. He can hit a standing 3. It's like it's over.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, you can't defend him.
This guy had one of those off the backboard dunk plays.
Right.
How can you stop that?
And just because of that, I just changed my contender rankings. Sorry,
No, it's okay.
I'm a loser.
It's okay. Game 2, like we said, or do we say it's tomorrow?
Yeah, game 2 is
For
tomorrow.
the Bucks and Celtics.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that.
Your
See.
Warriors beat the Grizzlies 117-116.
What a game this was. Jordan Poole, 31 points.
I was like, who's JP3?
The
Jordan Poole,
third splash
31.
brother.
Yeah, third splash brother.
What
Game
did-
2 is also tomorrow, which I'm happy about. Can we just have these every other day? We're not. Can we get the every other day games?
They're going to be like that more often now because there's fewer teams or fewer series going on, right? Did you hear Stephen A. Smith coin the term "lethal weapon 3" as the trio of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Jordan Poole?
Like the movie Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
Is there a third Lethal Weapon movie?
I don't think there is.
Is there just 2?
Yeah.
Oh, Stephen A. Whoever does your stuff for you, because you didn't come up with that on your
Probably
own.
not.
That's pretty good. Lethal. I think there is a Lethal Weapon 3.
There might be.
Can you look it up real quick?
Yeah.
Please. Lethal Weapon 3, Stephen A. I don't like a lot of things that you say, but did I tell you that Greg Papa
Oh,
calls?
there's a bunch of lethal weapons.
Yeah,
There's
there's
like
6.
there's 4
Did
at
I,
least.
Lethal Weapon 3. Did I tell you that Greg Papa calls or refers to Stephen A. Smith as Stephen A-hole?
Yeah.
Did I tell you that on here? I might have.
Yeah. Stephen A-hole is pretty good.
Yeah. I feel good about your Warriors, unfortunately.
I feel good about him too. But I think this.
The Grizzlies are not going to beat the Warriors in this series. Barring injury, they're not going to beat the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors will lose a Western Conference playoff series until I see it. The last time they lost one was 2014. Isn't that unbelievable?
That is crazy. So because every time they've gone to the playoffs,
Every-
they've gone to the finals.
They have not lost a Western Conference playoff series since the Clippers beat them in
I'm
2014.
also gonna knock on wood. They've won 12 consecutive series when they've won game one.
Until I see it, I can't believe they're gonna lose.
They're
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
They're playing really well. I mean, they're clearly more comfortable at home, but they are not shying away from the tough games that
No.
they played on the road either. So,
These guys have been giving me playoff stress since I was in high school.
yeah,
Well, no, after, but
yeah,
since I was in my early 20s.
right. It's funny now too because they are still really good, but back when when they were all in their primes, it seemed to come easier for them. But now the league has caught up in it because they're still, I feel like, just about as good as a group. But the league has caught up, so I feel like less is guaranteed at this point. But they're still pretty
Although
awesome.
when they had KD, it was
Well, that was different, but I'm kind of thinking more like the
15, 16.
15, 16, yeah.
Because KD, if he didn't get hurt, they would have three-peated. I think they would have beat. They
I'd
would
like to
have
think so,
beat the Raptors.
Yeah, I like to think so.
I think like we've talked about, if Clay would have played, I think they would have beat the Raptors.
Maybe,
Or
yeah.
it would have been more difficult. Don't get me wrong.
That was shitty for sure.
For the Warriors, it's just, to me, it's just really bad deja vu. It's like a bad acid trip. I wouldn't know what that feels like, but this has got to be what it feels like a little bit, right? It's
Right.
not good.
Badass.
It's not good. It's not good at all. The 76ers play the Heat tonight.
Which is on right now.
On right now. Excuse
They're
me.
down by 8. Tyrese Maxey is at the free throw line at the moment. We're in the second quarter.
Yes. Like I said, Heat in 7, because I think Joel Embiid will come back.
The hope is that he could be back by game 3 or 4. He's definitely going to miss both these games in Miami, which is going to be tough. But this season, I feel like we've seen the Sixers win without him. I know regular season is different than playoffs, but yeah, we'll see what
We'll
happens.
see if James Harden can finally be that guy in the playoffs.
Honestly, I mean, I think Tyrese Maxey's actually might be their best player or most effective scorer, anyways, with this lineup.
Could James Harden's play in these next 2 games, or however long, without Joel Embiid, be decisive for the Sixers if they want him in there?
To get well, yeah, and maybe to get him out of his scoring funk too.
And I know what's his face from the Rockets runs them now, and he loves James Harden.
Oh, Daryl Morey, yeah.
They'll probably keep him regardless, but you could debate if he doesn't play well in these next 2 or 3 games without Joel Embiid. Like, do we want this guy?
Right.
Can this guy can't win us a game by himself when he's clearly been able to win a game by himself in other cities and places?
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Harden's a good player, but I don't know if in the playoffs we've seen him just fail too many times. It's
That's true.
Yeah.
Because we said we talked shit about Giannis, but James Harden's failed way more before Giannis.
hell
Before Giannis won the championship, James Harden had failed way more times than Giannis had before he won the championship.
Right. Correct.
Also, Mavs Suns tonight.
Yep. Coming after this game.
Could be after this game, 7 o'clock, I believe.
Sounds about right. So you said Suns and 6 on this one as well.
Yeah, we both agreed Suns and 6
Yeah.
on this one.
I think the Mavs have had a good season. They've been actually better than I guess I thought, but I mean I don't see them really, especially now that Booker's back. I don't see them competing in this series really. They might steal a couple games at home, but I like the Suns to win this series pretty.
The paper matchup is not
Not that
good for
Yeah.
the Mavericks at all.
The Mavs are actually a really underrated defensive team, so
We'll see.
that would be their best chance. Play slow, keep the games tight, keep the games under 100
And
points.
Jason Kidd's been coaching well.
Mhm.
You know, I almost forgot Jason Kidd was the coach of the Mavericks.
Yeah, I think is this his 3rd head coaching job?
Can I say that I love how Mark Cuban, the owner of the Mavericks, could probably sit anywhere he wants. He could probably be on the bench with the players
Right.
if he wanted to. You know what I
He
mean?
sits like 5 rows deep.
He sits
behind
5
the
rows
bench.
deep, and he has forever.
Yeah.
If I remember right, watching them play the Heat in 2006, he was back. I bet you he's had the same spot since he's on the team.
Probably, yeah.
I really like how he does that. He could sit front row. He could sit in the
a
box seats.
Right, yeah.
I think Pat Riley does the same thing. He doesn't own the team, but I think Pat Riley has always sat in the stands,
Sorry.
kind of watching.
I love it too. I mean,
It's cool.
You probably get a better feel of the atmosphere of the crowd,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
right? Yeah, I think that's fun.
And I'm sure he gets those occasional people that maybe try to talk shit or like get a little too close for comfort
Yeah.
because he's a celebrity.
Yeah. And obviously he's got a mouth on him, so I'm sure he loves to give it back too.
Yeah. So contender rankings.
Yeah, let's get to it.
You go first.
So, not a whole lot of change except for what I just did right now. I did put the Bucks at number 1.
Yep.
So that means the Suns are down to 2. 3 through 5 are the same. We got Warriors 3, Heat 4, Celtics 5, and then Grizzlies moved up to 6 from 7, and then the Sixers moved from 6 to 7.
Okay. I got Bucks, Warriors, Celtics, Suns, Heat, Sixers.
You got Warriors at number 2.
I do right now.
Bucks,
right
Warriors,
now I do.
Suns. You said after that.
Bucks, Warriors, Celtics, Suns,
Celtics, Suns.
Heat, Sixers. I don't think Memphis or Dallas have a chance to win the championship. I just don't.
Yeah, if the Grizzlies lose this next game, I'll probably take them off my list.
Yeah.
And Sixers, I almost took off the list, but we'll see what happens here. I don't want to make too many.
And I swear the Sixers at 6 isn't a joke. It's not. That's what I believe.
All right. I think this will probably be the last. Like we'll do it next week, and it might be the last time we do a contender rankings, and we'll just make a prediction from there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because it'll get kind of dumb having like
14. You
or
have
like
the last 4 teams.
or in the finals like contender rankings.
Right.
Like depending on who wins a game, it'll be it's this team over this team now
Right.
and all that.
Right.
So it's a little different from the NFL one, but I like it. What time is it?
Oh boy, can you hit it for me? It's a little closer to
yeah.
you. Last call, baby.
Yes, sir.
So,
I mean, we only got one thing, because I don't have anything. For once.
really?
I don't have anything.
You're empty?
I'm empty. I usually got full throttle on last call.
I'll say start with the NBA talk first because that's where we just came from. So, apparently, Zion wants to stay with the Pelicans now. What's up with this?
This is all
Smokescreen?
saving face. What is he gonna say?
He's
He's
just so lame. Like, don't say anything.
I think he knows he's kind of a polarizing player, and he doesn't want to seem like a bad guy for a team that maybe would want him.
Right.
I don't think he wants to be there.
I just think it's all stupid.
I think it is stupid too.
Just
Maybe he does. I don't know. I don't know Zion personally.
I think to talk about not wanting to be somewhere to begin with is ugly, and then to reverse course after that is also ugly.
Yeah.
It just. Are you bipolar or what's your deal?
I don't know. It's all kind of weird to me.
A little hazy. Also, like we said, NASCAR was at Dover. It actually finished today because we only got 78 laps in on Sunday,
And that wasn't half.
which is not half, which we talked about.
Because Kyle Larson was in the lead.
He was in the lead. Oh, that's why you wanted to know.
Of course.
I didn't even think about that.
Well, because I texted you because I was like, what does this mean? Because I'd really love to know. Because Kyle
Yeah,
Larson
I didn't
was
even
first.
realize that.
And I think even Chris Bell was top 5 too.
He probably
It would have
was.
been a really good day for me, but it
Right.
wasn't. Even though,
Chris Bell did finish top 5.
and then I think Larson was
like
6th.
Yeah.
So I got 2 guys in my top 10. I'm cool.
Yeah. Chase Elliott did get the win, his first of the season.
But the way Garrett's winning right now, it's
Yeah, he's on fire. He's got 2 wins from Byron and 1 from Elliott.
you gotta love when your second driver's winning more races than your first
I
driver.
know. I said before the year, I was like, Garrett's got a fucking damn good team.
You do.
I mean, 2 Hendrick drivers on your team,
Yeah.
you're going to look good. So, yeah, I don't have the standings up right now, but Garrett does have a pretty healthy lead over everyone else, I would say.
No.
Everyone else is kind of just jammed together.
Yeah, we're all close.
Yeah,
and
with the
Garrett's
exception of Alex, which I feel bad
above
for.
and down.
Yeah, but
Alex, you're gonna get there. I promise.
one of these days.
One of these days.
It's 3 straight years she's having a tough time,
Don't give up on us, please.
but right.
Please don't give up on us.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's been a really cool NASCAR season. I also meant to give a shout out to Ross Chastain last week, which I don't think I got to. But he races for Trackhouse Racing. Him and Daniel Suarez, 2 racer team. Same team that Pitbull is a part owner of.
I didn't know
Yeah,
Pitbull was a part
yeah.
of it.
So
we talked about
They
this.
started this team just last year. Suarez was the only driver of the team. They added Chastain, so they got a 2-car team now. Chastain's won 2 races already this season.
Wow.
He had that pretty awesome win at Circuit of America in Austin, Texas, and then he just won a week and a half ago. So pretty cool start for them. And that team's off to a hot start this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I promise I will take a shot next week.
Do you want me to just go
You wanna
look
go
you up
up
right
it?
now? Yeah. I'm gonna sprint.
Okay. Also, I want to mention, while Emerson's gone, I walk into Emerson's house today, right? And he's sitting down, getting all the stuff ready for this podcast. I look down at his feet, and this guy's wearing Vans. I haven't seen this guy wear Vans, and I swear, probably 2013, maybe 2012. And I'll give him credit. He got the old schools, two-tone blue, white laces. They look clean. And I want to know why. Oh fuck! What made
Almost
you?
pulled a hammy.
Yeah, you know,
Here, I got
I'll
it.
hold your leg up.
No, I'm not doing that.
What made you want to get these?
I just needed some basic shoes, and I haven't had Vans in a while. Thought I'd.
And you saw all of us you see all of us daily with our stees,
I know.
the Vans.
Yep.
I mean, you got good shoe game for sure. It's different than what I would wear, but
I'm definitely gonna throw away my gray ones over there because they're toast.
yeah.
That's why I was like, these things are getting worn out. They have bad soles.
And those are-
Vans are always comfortable. They always have some of the best soles for just average, tennis style shoes or whatever.
I've been wearing Vans since 7th grade. They're not great.
You
In my
don't think so?
I mean,
I think they're comfy.
like my mom at work. Excuse me. She will wear Vans all day at work. I can't do that. I wear Nikes at work.
I wouldn't wear these if I had to be active. A lot.
You wouldn't do a shift in those.
No, hell no.
Okay.
No.
Even if you could, you're not slip resistant, but
No.
even if you could, you wouldn't.
No.
Comfort to me, feet comfort, foot comfort at work. Have to have it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on
And
that.
Vans, like if I wore these all day, my fucking feet would be barking at the end of the day. It'd be terrible.
Yeah. Also, I think this is the very first episode I've ever worn shoes.
Yeah. Ever?
Ever.
Well, I mean, I guess we do this at your house.
Yeah, I'm usually just socks or I got like slippers on or something. But
I want
don't
to
think I've ever
say
worn shoes.
I want to say I've worn shoes every episode, ever.
Cheers to something different. Well, yeah, when you come over to my house, you're gonna be wearing shoes.
Yes.
So.
It's not, I mean, I guess I could kick them off and be comfortable, but I just I like wearing shoes.
Yeah. I like not wearing shoes, honestly.
I
Feels
know.
nice.
You're a big your slides guy, flip flops guy.
Yeah.
See, I can't wear flip flops,
You did get some slides though recently, right?
but I don't wear them. I wear them with socks though.
Yeah, that's
It's-
fine.
it's like when
I
I
wear
get-
mine with
It's
socks.
like when I get off work, I throw off the shoes, throw the slides on, and just
The only time I wear slides without socks is in the morning when I just don't feel like putting on socks
Yeah.
before I take a shower.
I just like you won't catch me in public, probably ever, rocking flip flops. In public, you won't.
Would you wear them to the beach?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the only time.
The beach, yeah, but even then, I'd probably still wear Vans just with no socks or something like that. You know what I mean?
You're funny.
It's just more of a. I mean, it's more of a look thing, I guess.
Let the toes breathe, son.
They need to, but it's like maybe that's why I don't.
Flip flops are so convenient for when it's warm out.
I also need to get a good pair of flip flops. The ones I have are fucking haggard.
Yeah, you got to get some nice ones. Like I like my Oakley ones that I have.
Yeah.
They're comfy. They're durable.
Might sound basic, but I would get maybe rainbows. Rainbows are pretty nice. from what
those
I've
are
heard.
nice.
From what I've heard. So
Classics.
would I say Malik Willis?
We'll
take over the starting job.
We'll be the starter at some point this season.
Not barring injury.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a big
I
factor.
will say
He has to actually
he's
win
gonna
the job.
earn it. He's gonna
Yeah.
win the job over.
Well, you could also. I'll give it to you if Tannehill actually loses it, because that's probably what would happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Tasty.
No.
All right, Gage.
Episode what? 97?
97. We are prepping you guys for episode 100, which is coming in just a few weeks.
We're really hoping we could do it the way we want.
Yes, which we're not going to reveal.
No, it's not, and it won't be anything crazy.
We also have 2-year anniversary coming up in about a month and a half. Don't forget that. June 24th.
Wait, what?
2-year anniversary of the very first episode.
But wouldn't that be? Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Sorry. Obviously, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. We got big things coming up.
Big-
we got
big
big
things.
things coming up. Big. Big
I
teams.
got you.
Big teams.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good episode. Thank you all for watching and listening. We'll see you next week. Peace.